This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good morning and welcome to this morning's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. Kevin Smith here. Let's get to the news in detail. Over the last 5 years, the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, has been one of Guyana's key partners in developing the technical capacity that is needed to properly govern the oil and gas sector. In addition to this, the IMF has been at the forefront of highlighting many loopholes in Guyana's oil deals, as well as its legislative and regulatory framework, which can aid in mitigating significant value loss. In this regard, it has produced several reports between 2015 to now that offer critical recommendations that should be adopted. In spite of the prudent advice it has offered in these documents, there has been no significant application by Guyana's political leadership. For example, on numerous occasions, the IMF has appealed to Guyana to strengthen its petroleum fiscal regime through the revision of the Petroleum Act of 1986, the Petroleum Regulations Act of 1986, as well as other tax laws and sector regulations. And moving on, President Irfan Ali declared the landmark judgment handed down by the International Court of Justice in the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy case yesterday a win and a testament to what can be achieved through cooperation. The World Court ruled that it has the jurisdiction to preside over Guyana's case concerning the validity of the 1899 award about the border between British Guyana and Venezuela and the related question of the definitive settlement of the land boundary. Ali joined government ministers, heads of the disciplined forces, along with senior foreign affairs officials at the Arthur Chang Conference Center to listen to the ruling read by the ICJ's President Judge Abdulgawi Ahmed Yousaf. And now let's tell you, leader of the opposition Joseph Harmon has yet again dodged his commitment to host an oil and gas press conference aimed at delivering information on the awards of the Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks, among other pressing sector-related issues. Yesterday, during his first press conference in over a month, Harmon was reminded that it had been 3 months since he had first committed to hosting the special press engagement. Against this, we pressed the opposition leader about when this conference would be held, or whether it would be held at all. In response, he skirted around giving a direct answer, after which he indicated that he had been contacted by us for the APNU-AFC to sit in on a December 31st Kaieteur Radio program. In other news, Attorney General and Legal Affairs Minister Anil Nandlal announced that Cabinet has approved the decision to amend Guyana's law to remove custodial sentencing for small quantities of cannabis. He noted too that deliberations are still ongoing on the quantity that would not attract a jail sentence. The previous APNU-AFC coalition opposition just weeks ago submitted a bill to the National Assembly to amend sections of the Narcotics Act to have jail time removed for possession of small amounts of marijuana. Nandlal had deemed the move by the coalition a desperate attempt to gain cheap political points. And now let's tell you, the Ministry of Housing and Water through the CH&PA commenced its Dream Realized Housing Drive 2020 land allocation exercise. The two-day event, which commenced at the Guyana National Stadium Providence yesterday, saw more than 1,800 applicants. The event was attended by key housing ministry officials. In an address to the participants, Minister Rodriguez said that the exercise is in keeping with the government's manifesto commitment to distribute 4,000 house lots before the end of 2020. She noted that it is also part of their target to allocate at least 10,000 house lots per year. In other news, the 26 Haitian nationals recently been at the center of suspected smuggling or human trafficking controversy have left the country. This was confirmed by their attorney at law hired by the Association of Haitian Nationals, Darren Wade. His confirmation came after reports surfaced that the 26 nationals had quote-unquote disappeared from the hotel they were staying at on South Road, and persons saw 2 minibuses pick them up. The Haitians were picked by authorities within the period of November 7th and November 8th. And moving on, the Director of Public Prosecution, Shalimar Ali Haq, yesterday commenced her oral arguments in the Court of Appeal, contending that her order to have former murder-accused Marcus Bisram committed to stand trial for the murder of Fayaz Narandat was lawfully made and that there were several errors in the judgment that allowed Bisram to walk free of the murder. The DPP yesterday gave part of her arguments virtually before the appeal court and Attorney-at-Law Arud Gosai, who is representing Bisram. She is expected to give the rest of her arguments on January 13, 2021. The hearing follows a decision by Justice Simon Morris Ramlal, who ruled in June that Bisram was unlawfully committed to stand trial in the High Court for the capital offence of murder. And finally, let's tell you the Ministry of Health yesterday reported 34 new COVID-19 cases, increasing the total number of confirmed cases to 6,076 as indicated in their daily dashboard update. The dashboard also shows 588 patients in home isolation, 35 in institutional isolation, and 6 in the COVID-19 ICU. An additional 19 persons are in institutional quarantine and 91 more persons have recovered. And that's the news of the moment. Remember to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our Facebook page at Kaieteur Radio and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Kaieteur Radio Livestream. Oh, also catch our stream at www.kaieteurnewsonline.com/radio.